You've already taken the hardest steps. You've got on the medication. You're making the financial investment, and you're working hard, trying to do all of this the smart way. And I commend you. But there is one huge piece. You're snacking, and that might be quietly undoing everything that you've been working so hard for. And the frustrating part, it's not even because you're lazy or you're making bad choices. It's because the snacks that you think are helping you are actually failing you in ways that you can't even see on the scale. You see, the wrong snacks on these medications aren't just empty calories. They can cost you muscle. And studies are clear on this. Up to 25 to 40% of the weight that you lose on these medications can be precious muscle, not fat. That's how people end up skinny fat. They're keeping your insulin levels elevated so your body never actually heals. They're the reason some of you are needing higher and higher doses every couple months, and they're setting you up for weight regain up to 2/3 of the weight. In fact, the research is clear, it happens really quickly. When you eventually come off or taper, and this isn't your fault. You see, your doctor didn't hand you a snack list with your prescriptions. Nobody sat you down and said, hey, here's what your snacking should actually look like, what you need to be doing for your medication success to be working with you long term. I'm Dr. Jones, DC, and I lost over 100 pounds myself, and I coach thousands of patients through GLP-1 medication strategies. Once we fix the snacking, everything else just starts clicking. So today, I'm gonna give you the only snacks that you need to buy every single week. And each one of these are doing more than just one job in terms of your long-term results. Most people pick their snacks based on what sounds good or what's on sale. And I get it, you're busy, your appetite is all over the place with these medications, and sometimes you just grab whatever's there. But that's the wrong filter entirely. Here's the filter that I teach patients. Every snack that you eat on a GLP-1 should be doing at least 2 of 5 jobs. And if it's not doing any of them, it's not a snack, it's a sabotage. So here's exactly how I explain this framework to patients. Okay, so job number 1, you want to deliver protein. Protein preserves your muscle so you keep losing fat, not the stuff that's keeping your metabolism running. Job number 2, keep those insulin levels low. Every snack that spikes insulin, which is sugar-containing products, is slowing your progress. Number 3, provide real satiety. The more full that you stay, the longer you can stay on those lower doses. And lower doses means fewer side effects and less money. Okay, job number 4, prevent the metabolic crash. If you are under eating on these medications, and a lot of you are, your body goes into battery saving mode. And the right snacks will keep that from happening. And then job number 5, save you money. You're already investing hundreds or thousands of dollars on your medications, so your snacks should protect that investment, not drain it. So most of the snacks that our patients come in eating, they're hitting 0 out of 5, maybe 1 if they're lucky. So let me show you what you need to buy instead. Now, if you're listening to those 5 jobs and realizing that your current snacks aren't doing any of them, and you're thinking, I need someone to help me build this whole system, the framework, not just the snacking piece, that's exactly why we offer free discovery calls where you can actually speak with one of our patient educators that can look at your specific situation, what you've tried, and help you decide if you'd like the idea of working with me or my teams or my coaches. You can text the number on the screen, or you can check out the link in the description if you want to explore that. But first, let me show you exactly what to buy this week. Number 1, hard-boiled eggs. Now, this is the single best snack that you can buy on a GLP-1, and it might be the cheapest thing in the grocery store. A single egg gives you about 6 grams of protein and almost 0 impact on your insulin. You batch cook a dozen on Saturday, throw them in the fridge, and you've got grab and go protein all week for about $2 to $3. Or you buy one of these bags that are already good to go. Compare that to a protein bar that costs like $3, has 15 grams of sugar, spikes your insulin. It's not even close. In our clinic, the patients who keep hard-boiled eggs in their fridge all the times are the ones who never miss their protein targets, even on days when they have 0 appetite. Now, this one hits 4 out of 5 jobs. You got the protein, the insulin, the satiety, and the budget. The only job that it really doesn't hit is prevent the crash on its own, because you need to eat several to get enough calories in. Number 2, full-fat Greek yogurt. Either one of these brands are going to work. Not the flavored kind, not the low-fat kind. You just need full-fat, plain Greek yogurt. And here's why this matters. Flavored yogurts, like these right here, you don't even think different because they look the same. They can have up to 15 to 20 plus grams of added sugar. that added sugar is spiking your insulin and working against your progress. Full fat, like we said, 15 grams of protein per serving barely touches your insulin levels because those extra calories, instead of going towards sugar and carbohydrates, are going towards fat. And fat is also going to keep you full for hours. So here's the move. Throw some frozen berries on top. You get the sweetness, you get the antioxidants, and berries are one of the lowest sugar fruits that you can possibly eat. This snack costs you about $1 a serving, and it checks 4 out of the 5 boxes: protein, satiety, crash prevention, and budget. And if you're already thinking about swapping out what's in your fridge right now, then you need to hit that subscribe button, because we put out 2 GLP-1 videos every single week covering exactly this kind of stuff: what to eat, when to eat, and how to make the best out of your medication, what's actually going to help you work long term. Quick minute, I want to tell you guys about the Flow Academy membership. Essentially, this is my private community on Mighty Networks. You'll have access to a community coach, live coaching calls that I do, which are unsolicited. I don't have to market like my free lives. I'm just there to help you guys out as much as possible, and a ton of free resources as well to guide you through the various protocols that I talk about in these videos. So all you got to do if you're interested in joining that is just become a member to this YouTube page, and then there's a link that you can access after you become a member that'll allow you to join the community. Now back to the video. Speaking of which, number 3 is the one that saves you when you've got 0 time. Beef jerky or meat sticks. This is your emergency protein because it can live anywhere. In your bag, except I do a better job opening it than that, but it can live in your bag, your desk drawer, your car. When you've got no time, no appetite, and you're about to skip protein entirely, this is what you reach for. Look for the brands with under 3 grams of sugar per serving. A lot of the popular jerky brands are loaded with sugar, soy sauce, sweeteners. So read the label, because a good clean jerky can give you 10 to 15 grams of protein per serving with almost no insulin response. All right, this one hits 2 out of 5. We got protein and budget. It's not going to win every job, but its superpower is that it exists when nothing else does and keeps you from falling into the crash. All right, number 4, we got cheese and deli. And again, back with the prettiness. Gotta thank my fiance for this, because I certainly couldn't do this, but this looks nice and it covers. See, I tell my patients about this one every single day because it sounds too simple to work. You take a slice of deli turkey, roast beef, you wrap it up around a stick of cheese, and you're done. But it really does work, and it tastes so dang delicious. But here's why this is doing some serious metabolic work. Protein plus fat together, it's gonna break down slowly. We're talking 3 to 4 hours of satiety from something that took you 10 seconds to make. And compared to carbohydrate intake, neither protein nor fat is gonna spike your insulin much at all. So you're full, you're refueled, and your body stays in that fat burning state. This one scores 4 out of 5. You got protein, insulin controlled, satiety, and budget. Probably costs about 75 cents per roll up. And this is a snack that I want you to think of when you hear grab and go. And number 5, cottage cheese. Now I know some of you just made a face, but hear me out, because this one does something that others can't. Cottage cheese is loaded with casein protein. Casein digests very slow, over 4 to 6 plus hours. It's one of the slowest digesting proteins that you can actually consume, and it makes it ideal for evening snacks. But let me make no mistake, you can eat cottage cheese at any time, and it's so versatile you can throw it in so many foods. You can eat it before bed. Your body has a slow drip of amino acids working to preserve muscle while you go to sleep. But again, being able to be thrown in so many foods is why I love this option, because it's so versatile. You get about 14 grams of protein per half cup, keeps your insulin levels low, and it's under $1 a serving. Now, here's a tip from one of our patients. Some of them actually mix it in with a little bit of cocoa powder and some sweetener and call it a cookie dough. I'm not gonna judge here. If that's what gets the protein in, then that's a win. Tried it myself. It's actually not too bad. Personally, I throw in a little bit of allulose or monk fruit to sweeten it up. Now that's 4 out of 5 of the jobs: protein, satiety, crash prevention, and budget. I got a quick question for you. At this point, could you score your go-to snack against these 5 jobs? I want you to think about it for a bit. I bet some of you are realizing that what you've been eating isn't doing any of them. Actually, let me know in the comments your go-to GLP-1 snack, and I'll tell you how many of the 5 jobs that it's actually doing for you. You might end up being surprised. Number 6, a small handful of nuts or a tablespoon of nut butter with apples. So remember, about a handful, a serving just like this, or the nut butter, can't go wrong, all over your apples. Again, just make sure you keep it down to about 1 tablespoon. But that presentation is delish. Again, gotta thank my fiance for this, but it's a go-to snack that your insulin levels are gonna stay low because of the fat content of the almond butter. A handful of nuts is barely going to move your insulin levels. The fat and fiber slow everything down. You pair that with a small apple, and you've got a snack that gives you sustained energy for 2 to 3 hours without the blood sugar roller coaster. The key is portion. A small handful, not the whole bag. Pre-portioned packs are your friend here. This one's gonna hit 3 out of 5: insulin, satiety, and crash prevention. All right, number 7, a protein shake. Now, this is not your daily go-to. At least it shouldn't be. This is your break glass in a case of emergency option here. See, here's why. On GLP-1 meds, your digestion, it's slow. Thick liquid protein can sit like a rock in your stomach and make nausea worse. So if shakes have been making you feel awful, that's not a character flaw, that's your medication doing its job. But on days when you truly can't eat solid food and you're about to get zero protein in, shakes can keep you out of that battery saving mode. I'd rather you drink 30 to 60 grams of protein than not eat protein at all. You need it, and let your body start burning muscle. Like, we don't want that. Not all shakes are created equal. This one checks 2 out of 5 boxes: protein and crash prevention. Use it when you need it, not as a crutch. Now, another snack that I love, because we're talking about go-to things on the go, like your protein shakes, these P3 portable snacks are actually one of my fiance's favorite for convenience. Like, these are super cheap too as well. You got your meat, you got your ham. Whether you want the nuts or not is totally up to you. Peanuts are not my favorite nuts, but if you need protein, you need high quality calories, you don't want to spike your insulin, you can't go wrong with these go-to snacks. Number 8, raw veggies with hummus or guacamole. This is your texture snack. Sometimes you just need something crunchy, and if you try to fight that craving, you're going to end up with a bag of chips. Celery, cucumbers, bell peppers, dig into them with hummus or guac dip. The vegetables give you the volume and the fiber, and the dip gives you healthy fats. And the whole thing barely registers in terms of your insulin spikes. Now, this one doesn't hit the protein job, but it does check 3 out of 5: insulin control, satiety, and budget. And that's fine. Not every snack needs to hit all 5, and I need you to understand that. Like, we want to make this sustainable. The point is that you know what it's doing and what it's not, so that you can pair it with something that covers the gap, like a protein shake. Now, if you want me to make a full video breaking down GLP-1 meal prep for the whole week, not just the snacks, but breakfast, lunch, and dinner, while also maintaining a budget, let me know in the comments if that will be helpful to you. Okay, so now that we've covered the healthy snacks, and of course the 5 jobs, let me show you the snacks that are failing every single one. And these are the ones that I see our patients eating sometimes most often when they first come into our program. Number 1, granola bars and protein bars with more than 8 grams of sugar. You flip it over and look at the nutrition label. If it's got 15, 20 grams of sugar, that bar is spiking your insulin, giving you a blood sugar crash 45 minutes later. And it's not doing anything for your progress. Swap it for things like jerky or cheese or a meat roll-up. Number 2, this is worth mentioning again, the flavored yogurt, because it's so easy to accidentally grab. We've already talked about this, but it's worth repeating. A lot of flavored yogurts have as much sugar as a candy bar. Swap it for the full-fat plain Greek yogurt and add your own frozen berries. Number 3, rice cakes. 0 protein, spikes your insulin, and you're hungry again in 10 minutes. That's a 0 out of 5. Number 4, oatmeal. Now, I know this one makes people mad. Oatmeal has this whole health halo where everyone thinks it's a great choice, but instant or flavored oatmeal can spike your insulin almost as much as the freaking junk food that you're trying to avoid. It's all carbohydrates with almost no protein, and it does almost nothing for satiety on your GLP-1 medication. You're hungry again within a couple hours, and if you're eating oatmeal as a snack during that critical window, you're actually slowing your own progress. For me, this is a 0 out of 5 on the scale. And this is the sneaky one, number 5, sugary electrolyte drinks. I had a patient, Sarah, she was doing everything right. Protein was on point, snacks were dialed in, medication was working, and she stalled for weeks. When we dug into it, she was drinking 3 servings a day. Because this is the one they have at Costco. This is the very, very popular. They definitely dominate the market. 10 grams of sugar per serving. She was dumping sugar into her system all damn day without even realizing it. So we swapped her out for a no sugar electrolyte brand. My favorite is Ultima, and she started losing weight again within weeks. And then finally, number 6, this is the bite trap. This isn't a particular food, but this is the one that gets the busiest type of people. A handful of your kids' crackers, a few bites of leftovers, a piece of candy from a break room. Each one feels like nothing, but those carb-heavy little bites, they add up to constant insulin spikes all throughout the day. And your body never gets a chance to drop insulin and actually heal the resistance. These snacks aren't just failing the 5 jobs, They're actively working against your medication. Now, before I tie all of this together, here's my question for you. What's the number one snack that you absolutely refuse to give up on your GLP-1 medication, even if it's not perfect? Because remember, we don't need to be perfect, we need to be sustainable. Let me know in the comments, no judgment, because I genuinely want to know and see what people like you are actually eating. Okay, so if you follow this list every week, eggs, Greek yogurt, jerky, meat roll-ups, cottage cheese, nuts, a protein shake for emergencies, vegetables with hummus, here's what you're actually doing. You're protecting muscle so that the weight that you lose is primarily fat, not the stuff that keeps your metabolism alive, the precious muscle. You're keeping insulin levels low so that your body can make the fastest progress on fixing the insulin resistance during those crucial first 3 to 6 months of your journey. So you're staying full and you're utilizing lower doses of your medications, which means fewer side effects and less money spent. You're preventing the metabolic crash that happens when you undereat on these medications, and you're spending less on food than you ever were before. That's not a grocery list, that's a freaking protocol. Now, ask yourself honestly, could you build this system on your own and stick with it? Or do you need somebody in your corner making sure that all the pieces fit together? Because here's the truth, the snacking is just one piece. There's the protein targets, there's the fasting strategy, there's the insulin resistance, healing and reducing inflammation, the dose optimization, the whole plan for eventually coming off or achieving, working your way towards microdosing in the future. Keeping the weight off long term, that's a lot of moving parts, and getting one of them wrong can stall everything else. That's exactly what we help people build every single day. If you're sitting there thinking, Dr. Jones, I need someone in my corner putting this all together for me, that's exactly what we offer free discovery calls, where you can actually talk with one of our patient educators who are going to go through your full history, what you've tried, what's worked and what hasn't, your long-term goals, the whole 9 yards. Then they're going to walk through what the prices and programs would look like so that you get a better idea of what it's like working with me and or my team and or my medical team. What long-term success actually looks like. Just text the number on the screen or check out the link in the description if you want to explore that. And if you're not ready for that, that's totally fine. Screenshot this snack list and take it to the store this week, because I want you scoring everything against those 5 jobs so that you start to learn and make better choices in the future. Now, snacking is what you eat between meals, but the meals themselves, that's where most people on GLP-1s are making the biggest mistakes without even realizing it. So I made a full video breaking that down. Check it out right there, guys. We'll see you later.